to TechTips with Cameron. I'm Cameron, and today we are looking at something incredibly cool. Big shout out to Matt Wilks. Woo woo! Thank you so much for sharing this idea at our e-learning PD yesterday. What Matt was able to do is showcase how he can create a custom Gemini gem that spits out HTML code that can be copied and pasted directly into Brightspace so that your course can have a more interactive element to it.
That's so cool.
So what I've done is I've adapted this idea to create a gem that allows you to type in your course name, content that you're teaching, grade you're teaching, and it will spit out that element so that you can pop it right into your own Brightspace course. And what it ends up looking like is something like this. So I put in something for acids and bases, and it gives you a story, a little bit of a story to build in some engagement. And you can see here, ask for an image. You can have Gemini generate that image and paste that in as well. But it has a placeholder in case you want images in there. Pretty awesome. And then it's an engaging to say the paper turned red. Is it acidic? Is it base? Is it neutral? And the students can pop it in and it self-corrects. Now you are not getting their answers for this. This is a way for them to be more engaged and doing check-ins on their learning along the way. It's not to get a mark, but to help them build in their abilities. And this is all fully customizable for your content. We can say, oh, she adds a safe base to the water to raise the pH. There's a part 3 that allows them to go even further into that concept. So what is the name? If we add a safe base to raise the pH, we call that neutralization, I think. And success, we save the crop. So again, complexity-wise, you can adapt that when you make a copy of this gem and change it to be just yours. But what I've tried to do is make it broad enough so that everyone can see how it works. And then if you click make a copy, you can change those instructions to be anything you want. So when you check out the video down below, there's a link to the instructions, there's a link to make a copy, and there's a link to try out the gem. Want to see how it works? Let's jump in.
Let's get ready for learning.
So we've opened up our Brightspace Interactive Elements Generator, and we are going to be looking at the rule of law versus arbitrary power for our interactive element generator. All right, so what you can see is the gem itself has spit out telling us what a great job we've done. Thanks. And said it's a part of the course. It deals with the rule of law with the foundational expectation, contrasts it with arbitrary power, exemplified by this case. Hopefully that's a real case.
Keep the human in the loop.
Now, it also gives us a full self-contained HTML lesson block. So it's talking about the narrative hook that's going to connect those students while they're reading through it. And it's going to have 3 parts of interactivity: a definition, a legal audit, and a scenario analysis. What we're going to do is we're going to copy that HTML code. But before you do that, you can actually test to see if this is going to work by clicking on Tools, switching to Canvas. This way we're not trying to read through HTML to figure out what's going to happen. We can actually pop it in here so we don't have to copy paste, go back and forth between Brightspace. Let's practice inside of the canvas, and then if we like it, we can pop it over to Brightspace.
That makes sense.
So we go through, we must distinguish between the rule of law and arbitrary power. So drop down menus that offer some interactivity, that's great. Now we have to classify the scenarios. Is it rule of law or arbitrary power? We click check classifications and it tells us we've done a great job. Perfect. I'm building in that interactivity. If I like it, that's great. I can copy the code and head over to my Brightspace. Now, I'm going to click on Unit 2, and what I'm going to do is create new. And I need to create a new page. When you click on new page, it pops up. And here we are. Now, when you see your Brightspace page content, you may not have the option for source code, which is the key. So click these 3 dots, and down here you'll see these little lines, and we click on that, and that's our source code. All you have to do now is press Control-V to paste in the content that the gem created for you. Click Save, and it should pop up for us. Again, we have the note for the picture here. You can just paste that in yourself, or you can delete it if you don't feel like you need that. And we can go down and we can see here's the rule of law, here's the arbitrary power. Again, some of the drop downs will not work, but all of the click pieces you can test right in here will. But if we're happy with it, we click Save and Close, and here it is. Here's our page. Again, we can unhide it, we can check that it works, and we'll pop some answers in.
That's groovy.
You've kept the human in the loop because you can actually upload your own lessons when you interact with this gem. You can add in files either from your drive or that you have on your computer for past lessons you've already taught and say, use this lesson to become an interactive element. This gem will take that lesson and magic it up for you.
Do you have content that uses latex equations?
If there are equations, there are a few extra steps, and there's a video for that. Hope this helps, and yeah, reach out if you have any questions. See you soon. Bye-bye.